Ripa and Mark Consuelos are aging like fine wine. The celebrity couple, both 54, proved they're still in great physical shape during the Wednesday, June 25th, episode of Live with Kelly and Mark, which was notably pre-recorded amid the co-hosts' brief summer break at 54 years old. Ripa has proven time and again that she isn't afraid to put herself to the test literally. On a recent episode of Live with Kelly and Mark, the daytime television host left her studio audience, co-host Mark Consuelos, and millions of viewers at home both amused and amazed as she gamely completed a balance test on live television, wearing high heels. What started as a playful health demonstration quickly turned into a deeper conversation about aging, resilience, and Ripa's refusal to let her age define her. The moment, caught on camera and replayed countless times across social media, highlighted what fans have long adored about Ripa: her candid humor, her fearless spirit, and her knack for turning an ordinary segment into an unforgettable one. The balance test challenge. The segment began as a lighthearted exploration of simple health checks designed to measure one's aging process. The test itself was straightforward. Standing on one leg with eyes closed for as long as possible, task researchers have linked to longevity and brain health. For many, it's a surprisingly tough challenge. Add in the fact that Ripa was wearing a fitted dress and towering stilettos, and the difficulty level was cranked up several notches. Mark Consuelos, ever the supportive but cheeky co-host, couldn't resist teasing his wife. "Are you sure you want to do this in those heels?" he asked, eyeing her footwear with exaggerated skepticism. "Of course," Ripa quipped, brushing off his concern. "What's the point of aging gracefully if you can't do it in heels?" The audience erupted in laughter, the stage set for one of those memorable live moments where real life and entertainment blend seamlessly. Kelly's determination in action. When the timer started, Ripa closed her eyes and carefully lifted one foot. At first, the crowd giggled nervously, expecting her to wobble immediately. But to their surprise, she steadied herself, shoulders back, expression calm, and a playful smirk tugging at her lips. "Look at that core strength," Consuelos remarked, clearly impressed. Seconds ticked by. Ripa stood poised, embodying both elegance and determination. The studio audience began counting aloud 5, 10, 15 seconds as if urging her on in a friendly competition against herself. Around the 30-second mark, Ripa gave a dramatic sway, causing a collective gasp from the room. Yet she recovered swiftly, repositioning her arms with ballerina-like grace. "Don't worry," she joked mid-test. "If I fall, it'll be the most glamorous collapse daytime TV has ever seen." By the time she finally set her foot down, applause thundered through the studio. Ripa had passed the test with flying colors, and in high heels no less. Aging out loud, for Ripa. The segment wasn't just about proving balance, it was about confronting the realities of aging with humor, honesty, and style. In follow-up remarks, she reflected on what the balance test meant to her personally. "You know, people think aging is something you can hide from," she said, catching her breath as the applause quieted. "But the truth is, it catches up with everyone." Tests like this remind us that it's not about being perfect. It's about keeping track of where you are and making small changes to stay healthy. Consuelos nodded in agreement, adding, "If this is what 54 looks like, I think we're all in good shape." Their banter struck a chord with viewers, many of whom flooded social media with praise. One fan tweeted, "Ripa standing on one leg in heels at 54 is the motivation I needed today." Another wrote, "Proof that age is just a number and that I should never skip my balance exercises at the gym." A history of pushing boundaries. This wasn't the first time Ripa turned a health or fitness demonstration into television. Over the years, she has showcased everything from plank challenges to dance routines, always infusing the segments with her trademark wit and relatability. Behind the humor, however, lies a deep commitment to wellness. Ripa has long been vocal about her dedication to exercise, clean eating, and mindfulness. She often shares her love of dance-inspired workouts, strength training, and even her plant-based diet, crediting them for keeping her energy high and her body strong. But what sets Ripa apart is her transparency. She doesn't shy away from acknowledging that aging comes with challenges. Whether joking about reading glasses, hot flashes, or laugh lines that prove I laugh too much, she embraces it all with grace. The symbolism of heels. The fact that Ripa attempted the test in high heels wasn't lost on her audience. For many women, heels symbolize confidence, femininity, and power, but also risk and discomfort. Attempting a scientific balance test in them added layers of symbolism. It's like Kelly was saying, I'll take on aging, but I'll do it my way, commented one fan online. She wasn't going to compromise her style for the test. Others saw it as a metaphor for the balancing act of midlife juggling family, career, and health, all while trying to remain steady in a sometimes unsteady world. Ripa herself laughed when asked if she thought the heels gave her an advantage or a disadvantage. Honestly, I think they kept me more focused. When you know a fall could hurt more, you pay extra attention. Mark and Kelly, a shared journey. Another layer that made the segment resonate was Ripa's partnership with Mark Consuelos. Their playful dynamic, built on decades of marriage, has become one of the show's biggest draws. Mark's mix of admiration and gentle ribbing highlighted not just the humor in the moment, but also the love and respect that underpins their on-screen and off-screen relationship. "You know I would have caught you, right?" he teased after she completed the test. "I know," she replied with a grin, "but then you'd never let me live it down." Fans online swooned over the exchange. Their #couplegoals, wrote one Instagram user. "It's like watching two best friends who happen to be in love." The audience reaction. The studio audience's energy that day was electric, but it was the aftermath online that cemented the segment as viral gold. Clips circulated on TikTok, racking up millions of views, with captions like "Kelly Ripa defies aging in heels," and "When your mom outbalances you at 54. Health experts also chimed in, applauding the show for spotlighting an often overlooked aspect of fitness. Balance. One physical therapist noted in a comment thread, "Balance is one of the first things we lose as we age, and practicing it regularly can prevent falls and injuries." Kelly Ripa showing this on national television is a win for public health. Kelly's message to fans. Perhaps the most touching part of the segment was Ripa's final takeaway. Looking directly at the camera, she addressed viewers with sincerity. "Listen, we all age, we all get wrinkles, we all feel aches, and sometimes we lose balance literally and figuratively, but that doesn't mean we stop living. If anything, it means we start appreciating every moment more. So whether you're doing a balance test in sneakers, socks, or stilettos, the point is to keep trying, keep moving, keep laughing." It was a quintessential Kelly Ripa moment, equal parts humor, vulnerability, and inspiration. Why this moment matters in an era where celebrities often conceal the realities of aging. Ripa's willingness to laugh at herself and embrace the conversation head-on felt refreshing. Her balance test wasn't just a fun television stunt, it became a symbol of resilience, self-acceptance, and the beauty of aging openly. For women, especially, the pressure to defy aging can feel relentless. Ripa's candidness offers a counter-narrative, one that celebrates strength, health, and joy over perfection. A look ahead as Ripa continues her journey on Live with Kelly and Mark. Moments like this remind fans why she has remained a beloved figure for decades. Her balance test will likely be remembered not for the seconds she stood on one leg, but for the message she conveyed while doing it, that aging isn't something to fear, but something to embrace with humor, determination, and maybe a pair of fabulous heels. At 54, Kelly Ripa is still finding ways to surprise her audience and herself. And if the balance test was any indication, she's doing so with more poise and balance than ever before.